Bill here. Hope everybody's doing well. I haven't been on for a while. As you can see, I'm camping by the lake again, and I thought I would just do a video explaining some things. The last couple of videos I did while I was camping, I think the other times, I don't know, there must be a pattern here. I talked about, how I got better from Lyme disease, how I got well from Lyme disease, and in this one I thought I would do something different. In the first one actually in both of those I think I had outlined kind of some bullet points of what I'm doing, what I've done, what's worked for me, and I talked about detoxing and herx management, nutrition, inflammation, trying to interfere with what the nasty bugs do, causing inflammation, and if you can head them off at that, you can kind of starve them out, and different things such as protecting and restoring different things in the body, cells, tissues, organs, all that kind of thing. Talked about, touched a little bit on some nutritional stuff, and touched on immune kind of rebooting and restoring and support, and and lots of different things you can do for different symptoms. So I just wanted to kind of real quickly give that overview without any details, just because I want to do something different in this video and kind of explain, take a step back, I guess you could say, and explain sort of where I've been and what I've done and where I'm at and where I'm going. And I'll have to do that quickly so this doesn't become a ridiculously long video. So, I'll just give a super quick, kind of recap of where I've been. If you want to, look into that any deeper, I did some videos early on. I don't know, what's that been, a couple years ago at least. You can scroll way down and find my initial videos that I did explaining, symptoms and what I experienced and what I went through. So basically, I was sick for a while and not knowing what was going on with me and going to lots of doctors, and ended up eventually finding out after a couple of years of being ill that I had Lyme disease. And at the time I didn't know a whole lot about it, so I thought, okay, just thought what everybody kind of tells you out there in the media and different people. Oh, okay, I just thought, okay, I go get a couple weeks of antibiotics and, I'll be good to go. And then was I in for a rude awakening, because, not just the fact that I had been sick for quite a while, but I just really wasn't educated at the time, on Lyme and stuff like that. So I did that, and that didn't work, and I did a couple different rounds of antibiotics, and I just kept getting sick again. So then I finally ended up finding a doctor that treated Lyme and did more along the terms of ILADs. You can look that up, treatments, which is more long-term antibiotics, and I did that. I did 2 years of antibiotics, and so then I also incorporated some herbal things and a lot of different supplements and a lot of different, I can put something on this so it stops making noise, a lot of different supportive things. So then I'm an engineer, so I research things, so I did a lot of research and started finding out what I was up against, and that it's not just as simple as a couple weeks of treatment and you're okay. And so then I started looking into different things. Some of the kind of, I guess you could say, bigger Lyme doctors that had treated a lot of people for a lot of years, and thousands and thousands and maybe 10,000s of people. Some of them were Joseph Borascano and Richard Horowitz, and several other ones out there. So I started researching a lot of their methods and a lot of their recommendations. So a lot of what I've kind of incorporated has come from them, and then a lot of stuff has come more along the lines of naturopathic type stuff, Not because those guys are more kind of what I guess you could, people call them Lyme literate doctors. Not super fond of that term, but that's what's out there and that's what we're stuck with. So they'd use various treatments, not just antibiotics, but that's their main thrust. So then I started looking into other stuff, herbal stuff, Stephen Buhner's protocol and Cowden's protocol, and there's a few other ones out there. And I incorporated a lot of Buhner's theories and a lot of his stuff into what I did. And I finally got to the point where I got off antibiotics, and I've been off of them for, let's see, 15, 16 months now, maybe. It's been a while. So then, trying to make this so it doesn't get too long, so I wanted to, explain a lot of this, to explain where I'm at and why. So then I also started looking into more, naturopathic and more detox type stuff and more stuff for boosting your immune system. And that's when I got into what's called the NB protocol, the letters NB. And that's something by a gentleman called Donald Mao. And he has a lot of stuff in there on nutritional support and, vitamins and minerals and different things some things that many people never heard about, and I certainly never heard about. And so I incorporated pretty much all of his stuff in, let's see, I'm going to say 10 months ago, and I continued to keep getting better and better. Right now I'm taking basically maintenance doses of a lot of the herbal stuff and just a lot of supplements and everything, and pretty much everything from that NB protocol. And I mentioned a lot of his stuff in that last video, and I think I put a link to his website in that last video because I had mentioned a lot of the things, and I won't go into the details of what all's in that right now. You can look it up on his website, NB Protocol. And because I guess what I should have done initially, I should have done this video initially explaining a lot of this, because then there could have been less misunderstandings out and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at and what I've done, and that's kind of what I wanted to express was I took a lot of things from a lot of different places, and what worked for me I kept, and what didn't work I threw out. And I'm at the point right now where like I said, I'm not taking antibiotics, and I guess I'll also say this right now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm not saying do this or don't do that. I'm not saying that don't do antibiotics. I think they have a place, and everybody's different, and my belief is they definitely have a place, especially with an acute infection if you just got bit, for sure. Somebody like me, long term, it depends. Some people it saved their lives, and some people didn't, get them well. And for me, it definitely, I think, got me to a certain point, and that was it. And I had to kind of switch up and try some other stuff, and try to get over that hump. And I did, and I'm feeling pretty well these days, other than the little bit of allergies seems like going on right now out here. There must be still some ragweed. It's getting in my throat. So I just wanted to explain that, I think I said in the one video, this is my protocol. I probably shouldn't have said that, because it's stuff that I've gathered from various sources, and it's not a protocol that I'm saying this is my protocol and I'm selling it or I'm promoting it or anything like that. I'm just saying this is what has worked for me, and this is what I'm doing. And I just wanted to kind of clarify that, and and then go from there. And I'll probably keep continuing going down through those those bullet points. Like I said before, I think detoxing is huge, and especially if you're treating, to manage the Herx reactions. And I would say that, and along with the immune system, doing something. I think, and again, this is just my opinion. I think you can take all the kill protocols in the world, and if you don't do something to bring your immune system back online and restore it and support it, you might spin your wheels, because I did. And and I see a lot of people out there doing that, and I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just making an observation, and what was my experience, and just wanted to kind of clarify a lot of that. And if anybody has any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'll continue down through some of the points in more detail in other videos. So I'll definitely be thinking about how I want to approach that what I call the huge one, the immune system. There's a lot to that. That might be more than one video. That might be several videos. I don't know, because there's so much involved in that. And so anyhow, I guess I'll be calling this, part 3 of how I got well from Lyme. But I just wanted to, explain all of that and how I got to where I'm at. So I learned a lot along the way, and the hard way, like a lot of us do. And I do a lot of research, but there's people out there that have done way more research than I have, and I just mentioned some of them. And yeah, so I just thought I would put this out there and explain all that for you. So thank you very much for listening.